Hey guys, it's Joe for PathToGreenerLiving.com. One of the main tenets of this site is living in a more responsible and more renewable fashion. Now, that might sound like it's something that you'd hear coming from a tree hugger, but really it's a common sense thing. We all have to use electricity, natural gas or propane, and a whole bunch of other stuff just to survive. Or do we? Well, rather than going out and living in a hut in the woods and not using anything, instead what we're looking at is taking our homes and making them more efficient. Now, you can do quite a bit with an existing home. You can add more insulation, you can add energy efficient lighting, you can set your thermostat and water heater temperatures a little bit lower and use blankets and wear sweaters and whatnot. Okay, you can do all kinds of stuff with an existing home, but you can do so much more when you're building a new home, as long as you're building your new home with these tenets in mind. So what we want to do is we want to make our homes more energy efficient by adding natural light instead of having to use artificial light. Natural light is free. All we have to do is have an energy efficient window and we can get the light that's outside, and it's actually more healthy for us to have that natural light than artificial light. We can also add insulation both to our walls and in our attics to keep our heat inside or the heat outside, depending on the time of the year, meaning we have to heat and cool our living space less. Obviously, that's a savings in money. It's also a savings in energy that we don't have to expend. We can also do other stuff with water. We can do stuff with waste. We can do all kinds of things. Well, I'm lucky enough to live in Utah, where there's a place called the Utah House. Utah State University has basically funded it and built this demo house, this sample house with all those things in mind. So it's with that in mind that we're going to go and take a field trip there. It's just down the road, and we'll show you what they have done to that demonstration house that we hope to put into our new greener living house. Let's go take a look. So here we are on location with the Utah House, put on by the Utah Botanical Center and the university up in Logan, Utah. So let's go ahead and take a look. First off, we've got standing seam metal roof, a nice cupola up on top that has some advantages. Not only does it let in natural light up on the top using those clear story windows, but if it's a functional cupola, you can also use that as a heat stack to naturally convect heat out of the house, because hot air rises and it can just vent out the top. It doesn't look like that is doing that. You'll also notice as we walk around, we've got a nice little skylight there, a tube style skylight, very energy efficient. Let's keep looking around, see what else we got. Now, as you can see, it's the middle of winter here, so everything is pretty much sleeping. We've got some creeping thyme there, some nice fountain grasses there shading the sun from the side of the house. Very large overhangs. The eaves overhang quite a bit to shade the windows from the overhead sun, which is a very energy saving thing as well. You'll notice here we've got a couple things. First of all, from what I understand, that's a 1 kilowatt thin film solar panel. And according to their website, that takes up or supplies 25% of the house's electricity. Over on the other side, we have a solar thermal panel which supplies hot water. Very efficient use of the sun there, and very inconspicuous looking at that. You'll notice that the slope of the house, of the roof there, is also built to take advantage of the natural solar exposure. Here's a nice entryway, and I'm going to go ahead and show you this right here. It says, "Sorry, we're closed." They'll be closed on February 21st for President's Day. They'll reopen tomorrow during regular business hours. Regular business hours are Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., which is kind of disappointing because we've been here for the last 3 or 4 Saturdays in a row, and we've always been met with that close sign. We've also made some phone calls to this phone number right here, asking when we can come out and see the house if we need to make an appointment, even though the sign says that we don't need to. And we've never gotten a call back. So If somebody from the university, Utah State University, or from the Utah House sees this video, maybe you can tell us why you're advertising that you're open on Saturdays, and you never are. So we'd really like to show you inside. See if I can show you just a little bit here. Don't mind the reflection there. A very nice looking house. Hopefully we'll come back and do a follow-up video on this so you can see what they're doing to make this house so comfortable, so energy efficient, and so renewable. But in the meantime, we have to live with the fact that these guys are seemingly always closed. Unfortunate for that. Stay tuned and subscribe to our video channel to make sure that you come back and see eventually when we get inside the Utah House. For PathToGreenerLiving.com, I'm Joe Levi.